Alright guys, good afternoon. So, you see me at an unusual time. And I'm not doing U-Boat this time, I'm doing DayZ. You know that DayZ is one of my old love games. And now and then I go back to it, although for many months my main streaming game has been U-Boat. I still now and then like to go back to this one here. This is DeerIsle. I need the other mouse. This one is the mouse button is not all right, which is particularly bad for DayZ. So I'm starting a new game, and as you can see on the title, yeah, it's a new life on Mystery Island, and I'm playing Mystery Island DeerIsle. And in particular, it's DeerIsle 6.0. The server is moderately populated, something like, I think it was 22 people on the server when I joined. And it's morning, something like 6 o'clock. Time acceleration is 4. I usually prefer to have less time acceleration, but just lately there came up lots of servers with more time acceleration, like up to 6 being standard, and I really don't like to have that much of time acceleration. If I have the choice, I like to play on 2. I might even play on 1, but I think I never found any server having time acceleration of just 1. So we just spawned. We have to find our bearings. I'm not using an external map. I never do, or actually I only do when I join up with other players on purpose. But yeah, that's not pretty often that I do it. I have a gut feeling where I am, but yes. Alright, it's this area here. These two houses. There is, yeah, a barn in the back. That's weird. What's there? What's that? Floating there. That feels kind of unusual. It's not a raft, is it? Yeah, John McClane has changed a lot and added a lot of material. There is a dead guy. There is a dead guy floating. That's weird. That's pretty unusual. I wonder if I should get there and loot him. He might have some stuff. I mean, he pretty much looks like a fresh spawn. Ah, come on. We would get cold. Let's not get cold right in the beginning. The hope would be that he still has his starting apple or starting pear. But yeah, probability is high that he has already eaten it. So let's not take the risk of getting wet and cold and hungry and sick and dead. Well, but to be precise, as soon as you start to play this game, you take the risk of being dead. But all the doors being wide ajar pretty much shows that this place probably has been thoroughly looted. Okay, some 44 rounds. It's pea shooters. In German we say Kleinkaliber. small caliber. Okay, a damaged t-shirt, I'm not gonna take it. Yeah, I usually pick up clothing. Because you can craft rags out of it, and rags might be helpful. Well, why not? Better than nothing. Gives a minimum warmth and a little bit of protection against being hit on the head. Yeah, even here there are a few more buildings which weren't there in the past. Yeah, I'm not playing DayZ very regularly lately. The baseball cap is cooler. Worst installation. I keep the baseball cap. What about that one? Low insulation. So it's it's at least better than the shirt. Okay, it's not in pretty good condition, but as we used to say in DayZ, better than nothing. Yeah, and if you consider that most probably the place was already looted. I think that's it. Let's keep on going. We are cold. You see it by the status to the bottom right. And that blue symbol indicates that we are cold. When you're cold, you burn more nutrition. And sooner or later you catch a cold, which turns into a flu if you don't get warm soon then. So I'm doing it pretty much the other way around. In the past years, my standard loot route would have led me in exactly the other direction along the coast, but let's do it differently. This should lead us to some, bottleneck connection towards this part of the land over there, if I'm right. Nothing. There's a castle, one of the many castles. Yeah, the DeerIsle map is beautiful, and if you keep in mind that it was crafted by one guy just in his free time as a hobby, it's just amazing. And yeah, beautiful countryside that you have. It's so wonderfully modeled. There's just two little critics that I have. The one is that the castles, some of the castles seem pretty unrealistic because they are just so vast, kind of a labyrinth of walls and towers that doesn't feel realistic. in contrast to all the rest of the map. And then the northwest. That I find pretty weird. In the northwest you find, yeah, you have kind of a nature which pretty much resembles Northern Europe, like Sweden or something. Swedish woods, and in these Swedish woods you find buildings which look like they come from North Africa, from Morocco or something. And I always hoped that he would do something about that, that they were maybe just placeholders, wild cards, and that he would replace them sooner or later. But I think even now, even with this update, he didn't, and they are still there. To me, this really breaks a bit of the immersion when you go to the north, to the northwest. Yeah, but that's complaining on high level, because the map is just great. And tough, like right now. We are already getting hungry. We hear our stomach rumbling. And no food. So if we look at the shadow, I think it was something like 10 o'clock. So the sun is there, so this is south, this is roughly north, nothing here. Let's get up there. Yeah, that's it. Since the update, you have zombies in the middle of nowhere. Like that guy. This is something new. That was a rule in DayZ over all the last 10 years, that zombies only spawn close to formerly populated buildings or areas. So come on. But no loot. That's actually the hope, that you find some loot with these zombies, but it's very low probability that you find something. Nothing here. Usually you find something, be it useful or not, but that is a strong indication that people have been around here looting. But let's check these little huts down there. These kind of hikers spots. Hikers resting spots. Yeah, and it might become tough now. We are red, we are not yet blinking red, but we are red in terms of hunger. Oh, there is something. A plum. And, well, nice. A fresh plum and a dried plum. So that might save our ass for now. Let's see if it brings us back at least to yellow in terms of food. And the dried one. And never eat the rotten ones. That will make you sick. Nothing. Let's not forget to check the car as well. Oh, nice, a hip pack with some content, with a map and a Zagorski bar. Very nice. So you see, we are back to yellow in terms of food. That's alright. And that's a flag, you can cut it to pieces and make rags out of it. Otherwise it's only meaningful for base builders. Come on, we don't need the belt because we can't put it on when we have the hip pack on. Okay, so that helped us a bit. Dried plum, fresh plum. The difference is that the dried plum only gives you nutrition, and the fresh plum also gives you a bit of hydration, which is nice that they have that difference. Okay, zombie on the field. I'm not getting there, just too low probability to find something. Yeah, we hear the surf. Alright guys, here I am back again. Just had to be AFK briefly. there, so this is south. I'm going more or less east at the moment. Yeah, but that fits to my guesses. Oh, there is a building. Let's check that out. Let's check for fruits. And well, this is one rotten plum and one dried plum, at least. Great, an alarm clock. Yeah, that's so realistic about the game. You really also find stuff that you would never really need. Women's suit jacket, low insulation, damaged. Shall we keep it? Right, nothing in the car. At least we got the plum. Oh. Oh shit, I hate these base builders. Well, usually the map is vast enough that it doesn't disturb decent players that buildings are occupied by bases. In the beginning, when they came up with base building, I was pretty skeptical. But luckily they kept base building to be sufficiently a pain in the ass so that most people don't do it. I don't know how persistent the bases actually are. How often they are cleared away. But yeah, they're just not safe. There are a lot of people who just make fun out of crushing bases, unoccupied bases, using explosives or whatever to run down their doors. I'm still freezing. I mean, it's perfectly fine if people have fun in base building, but for me, as a lone wolf player, it just never makes much of sense. So, guy. Yeah, come. He's got a vest. 1, 2, 3. Nice. It's not in good shape, but at least it's a vest, which gives me additional carrying capacity and some additional warmth. Well, low insulation, but it adds to the insulation that I already have. zombies standing there on the shore. Yeah, I don't know. I think I preferred that old principle that zombies were only close to buildings. But, well, there are buildings. Car in the woods, let's check it out. Pretty sure that there are more zombies looming around in the woods here. You just have to make sure that you don't aggro two zombies at the same time. Oh yeah, I'm on that peninsula. Yep. So, nice. It's in bad condition, but it still gives better protection from cold. Okay. The camp somehow glitched away. We don't need to look for it. Must have been somewhere on the floor, probably. It's, yeah, things don't glitch away anymore, usually. That's rotten, and that's fresh. Yeah, when there is no loot being spawned in the toilet, that's also some strong indication that other players must have been around. Jeans damaged. Well, medium insulation, better than worst insulation. Yeah, there is some loot left, but it's just the leftovers, which somebody who was around here couldn't use. And more. Another rotten. And another dried plum. So these plums keep us alive at the moment. Hey, Oblivion! Nice to have you in. How are you doing? Yeah, you say you played that for a couple of times. I mean, particularly this map, or just generally? Daisy. There is these maps which are particularly cold. So which ones did you play? So this map here is relatively warm, but you could still catch a cold. And yeah, as you see right now, with this gear that I have, I just switched to not freezing anymore. Nice. Some pistol with a mag. Nice. Let's first eat the liver patty or whatever it is. But you did play DeerIsle map or another one? Okay, all right. Yeah, no, but still nice. So sounds like the game did not convince you. continue playing it. Yeah, you need some patience for this game. And quite some tolerance against frustration. Because there is really a lot of ways that you can die. Okay, no, we don't know that. Need that flashlight. Yeah, alright. So what is your preferred, like, say, top 3 games that you play at the moment? Oh yeah, another zombie. Also with a vest. Let's see, maybe this one is in better condition. Oh, well. Still have that in my hand. Damaged. So it's just the same as the one that I have. It's damaged. Drop that. Okay, we have 3 rounds in the pistol. I always thought that this ill is actually the same like a Makarov, but I think it isn't. But it's quite a tiny pistol, not delivering lots of damage. Yeah, by the way, nice to have you in, Oblivion. Would be curious what your favorite games are at the moment. Ooh. Oh, I hate this when you hear the noises of zombies aggroing and then you just don't see where they are. There he comes. One, two. Yeah, by your name, I guessed that you might be a Skyrim fan. Yeah. Yeah, I like them. Skyrim and Fallout are both also on my, let me say, top 10 list, definitely. Ghost of Tsushima, I never played. Yeah, and Assassin's Creed. My long-term favorite is Black Flag. I loved it. Is this another one? Or just the same, which we already checked out? It's just the same, right? Yeah, I've played Skyrim for a lot. Okay, yeah. I've been playing Odyssey for a while, but I think I only played through this first area and then started with the second area. But I think there's something like 5, 6 or 7 areas that you can play through, right? Yeah, to be honest, after a while, I got that feeling of, yeah, that it became kind of a grind to always level up your gear, your weapons, your armor. Yeah, well, I'm a big Navy fan, so maybe it comes natural that Black Flag is my favorite. Oh shit, I need to drink. I'm red now in terms of drink. These nice flowers. No berries or something. Let's keep an eye onto the shoreline if there is any boat. There is sometimes useful loot in the boats. Yeah, right. It's enormously large. The map of Odyssey is awesome. A hoodie. Medium insulation in better shape. Let's trade it. This one only has badly damaged. So let's keep going like that. I still have this plum. Completely forgot about that, so let's have it. But I don't think that this single plum will bring us back to yellow. Yeah, this is always the issue about this game. Here at the moment, when I started on this server, there were something like 22 other people on the server. So, quite some risk to run into them, or chance, however you see it. Like for me, if I run into people, I usually don't kill people on sight, but it's more like that I make up my mind whether to talk to them or hide away. I actually do avoid conflicts if I can, but you often can't. As everybody knows who has been playing the game for a while. So now I can craft some rags. Let's do that. You can use rags to bandage, although these are not disinfected yet, so you should not try to bandage with non-disinfected rags. But what we can also do is we can craft a rope out of that, which might help us later if we would like to do an improvised fishing rod or an improvised backpack. So let's see what the condition of the sickle will be after having done all that crafting. It's still only worn. Nice. So let's put it here. Now we can put together these 12 rags and craft one rope out of them. You can fish by standing on the shore or in rivers or creeks or at the sea. And these boats that we saw around, they cannot be used, but there are zodiacs actually. Sometimes they are relatively rare, but now and then it happens that you see a zodiac floating close to the shore or being at the shore, like a rubber raft. Not quite sure whether the term zodiac is self-explaining everywhere. would expect more zombies around there. But better go down. I'm pretty sure that there is a well. Maybe let's avoid any zombie contact and first head straight for the well. And I hope that there is a well behind that building here over the hill. Right close to the beach. Wellies. Yeah, zombie up there. And nothing here. All the places are looted. Another zombie close. Nice. That's nice. Some duct tape. Some cargo pants. Yeah, I can think about, maybe later think about if I would like to repair them. But let's first get rid of that zombie. It's just too close for my taste. Yeah, come. I've got the gun, but you should never fire a gun on a zombie in these situations, because that would instantly attract the other ones. Gas canister. Oh man, I hope that I had a well around here, but I was wrong. Still, what we have is a crossbow. Crossbow doesn't help us much if we don't find something to drink soon. Yeah, pretty sure that this place is looted, and well, if it's looted, just wouldn't find anything to drink for sure. The jeans is the better insulation, so let's repair the jeans and keep it. Hey, Wasabi! Nice to have you in. Yeah, nice. So, I pretty seldomly stream DayZ. Yeah, I admit that. But I still love the game. I still like to play it now and then. So great to have you in. How are you doing, by the way? Oh, that looks like some loot. This is quite some weapon. Just can't put it there, but let me make this ice axe my close combat weapon. Craft a few more racks. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So that means next week is a new term is gonna start. Okay, that's good, because this is exactly the ammo that I need for the whatever the name is. Let's change so it's in better shape and it's the better camo actually. Let's pick that up. And a tomato. Alright, so this tomato is fresh, so it will give us a little bit of hydration back. Zombie out there. There is something, okay, something that we really don't need. The damaged vest. Let's also repair the I can't repair the vest with the tape. Okay. Anything else which needs repair? Pretty sure that I can repair that one with the tape. Probably the tape is completely used up now, I guess. No, we have still a little bit of tape left. I quite like that type of hat. It's kind of cool. That's uncoolly cool, if you know what I mean. Yeah, but now take out the mag and actually load it. Alright, now we have 4 mag. Nice. Do we have still? No, that was all the ammo that we got, so that did fit perfect. But we are still red in terms of thirst. I don't know, I thought that there was a well around. Oh, come on, let's avoid that zombie. There is another one around. A knife, that's good. Let's pick up the knife for now and some petit. This would also give us a bit of hydration. Just a bit, but maybe sufficient to get back to yellow. IJ 70. Is it? I always call that gun Makarov, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'm wrong. It's not the Makarov. Okay, there she comes. And I have that nice weapon. 2 hits and she's down. Let's check if there is fruit lying at the bottom of these trees. Never quite sure which tree is carrying fruit and which not, which one not. I think these are definitely no fruit trees. Okay, nice, a sporter with the mag. Pristine jeans, better condition and better camo, the green one. Never sure what this sound actually means. I think it warns that there is an air raid going on. And I also recognized once that when you enter certain areas on this map here, such an air raid alarm goes off. But I I'm not sure about the meaning. How many rounds do we get into this one? 15. So let's get some more rounds into that. So, yeah, it's a pea shooter, alright, but yeah, better than nothing. Yeah, but still, we need drink. Somewhere around there, behind that building. Let's check. I don't know. I thought somewhere around here was a well. Nope. What's that? Balaclava. Nice. This gives us additional heat protection and looks cool. Okay, all the doors closed. Does it mean that this place hasn't been looted front up? Great. That comes in very handy. The red one, that's drink, so I'm in dire need of drink. That's what this indication gives us. So that beverage was highly welcome. Pristine, pristine. Is there a round in? No. So that might help us for a little while. You see now the red symbol went yellow, which means that I am still critical in terms of thirst, in terms of hydration, but not mega critical anymore. Alright. Fresh plum. And a dried plum. Yeah, okay, good question about the river and the lake, but in this game you can't drink the water right out of the river. Nice, DeerIsle. You get sick from the water of the river. Which is, I think, not quite realistic, but they have it like that. And, well, self-explaining that you can't drink from the sea. So you can't drink from lakes and rivers in this game. You would have to cook the water, boil it. Yeah, you can. This is what you can do. It just takes time. You have to start a fire. You have to collect the equipment to start a fire, and you need a pot. And then you actually can do that and boil the stuff. Yeah, that's the great thing about the game. It has so many concepts which are nicely integrated and which do work. Yeah, I wanted to eat plum. So here, this one, the fresh plum, gives us also a little bit of hydration, and the dried one would just give us nutrition, which is the apple symbol next to the drink symbol. All right, back again. Yeah, the food rots. It does, and it actively does. So if you pick up some food and keep it for too long, it might become rotten, actually. Yeah, only canned food doesn't. And dried food also doesn't get rotten. You can even dry food. If you have, for example, meat, you can cook it over the fire, or you can dry it over the fire, and the dried meat keeps fresh much longer than the cooked meat. Yeah, and what else to expect? If you eat raw meat, you get very sick. And getting sick in this game is, yeah, bad. Yeah, we are still only yellow, so it's still good to find some more drink. Yeah, the only safe place to drink is the wells, which are pretty rare. Yeah, this weapon is pretty effective. Or is it efficient? Okay, this is a gas lamp, so you could add a gas container to that one and then use it as a lamp, but I don't quite like it. That hat, I find it's pretty cool, but it just has low insulation, while my nice hat here has best insulation. No, it hasn't. There is no kind of character specialty that you can choose in the beginning. There are a few servers which have some mods on it where you could kind of do a little bit of leveling and skill stuff, but from the vanilla point of view, you don't have any skill system. The only skill that you bring is yours personally, the players. It's just very few special servers which have this kind of set where you can actually level up certain skills. And these servers are actually pretty tough because they have a lot of other stuff which makes your life, say, uncomfortable. Alright, so it was a pleasure to have you. And yeah, maybe we are seeing each other later or in the evening. So have a good afternoon, Wasabi. Nice, some food. Although food is not critical at the moment. Did I check it? No. Yeah, but I found the cereals, that's good. So that loot around here was alright. Question is where to go further. Let's not cross the open meadow here. Oh, we still have the dried plums. I do have the vest. The vest needs repair, and I couldn't repair it with the duct tape, which surprised me a bit. Oh, I hate that. This is something that we have since the update 6.0, that now and then you get on the left upper corner of the screen an information what the time is and where you are. So it's 1 o'clock. This is an information I don't want to have, because this is the strong point usually about DayZ, that it doesn't give you any information that you don't have in a survival situation. For example, if you look at the map, just have the basic map and you have no idea where you are. Your position is not marked on the map. Of course, there are certain servers where you have that position marked, but I don't like them. I like to play it in this very basic version where you have to do your navigation, find your bearing with landmarks and things. Oh, nice. Some lunch meat this gives. Plenty of nutrition and also a bit of water. Looks tasty, doesn't it? Yummy. And now sooner or later it might be that our stomach gets stuffed and then we have to stop eating, or we would start to vomit. That was very good. police station. Let's go for the police station. That might attract survivors. A lot of survivors, actually. Alright, I locked the zombie out. A backpack, alright. That's good to have. Now these footsteps really drive me crazy. I think it's the zombie, but it might also be other players, you never know. Oh, the Derringer is loaded, nice. Okay, there is a heli going down somewhere close. Yeah, that is pretty powerful. Yeah, pretty sure that the place is thoroughly looted. That's a mag for a gun that I don't have. USG, that's a submachine gun. Would be nice to have. Army pouch. I think I would prefer it. Only point is that it's badly damaged, but let's repair it. I don't want to have that red backpack. Hey, hey, Wasabi! That was just a brief AFK. Great to have you back. So I just made up my mind that I would keep the army pouch and drop the children's backpack due to its very bad camo, although this one is pristine and the army pouch is only damaged. I used up my last piece of duct tape to repair it, but I find these kind of pouches pretty cool. I quite like them. So let's go. I'm not going to check the roof. Don't think that there is something up there. Okay. I'm definitely gonna take that vest, although it has no carrying capacity. It gives me plenty of protection. Yes. Let's do it like that. This vest is pretty good in terms of protection. It's an anti-step vest. Question is where to go now. Maybe check these buildings. There is a supermarket. Yeah, I never check these apartment buildings. It takes so much time to check them and you'll never find something useful. Pristine, warm. I'm carrying a lot of sickles around with me. Something lying in the supermarket. I can see it from here. Also in the shelves, I think there's something. So maybe it's worthwhile to check. Zombie sounds. Oh wow, let's first check the hospital. Another sporter. So let's keep the mag, so we have a spare mag for the sporter. Better take the 30 rounds mag. There is a zombie around. I just want to make sure that I don't get two of them aggroed on me at the same time. Okay, nice. Another set of bandages. And a lot of screw backpacks, which is a bit weird. Nothing here. What do we have there? Intravenous starter kit. All right. it's pristine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just the same size, but this one is pristine. So, good point in swapping it. Okay, I got plenty of bandages. Shit. Oh fuck. No, I have several of these guys on my tail. That's not good. That might attract a lot of other guys. Nice codeine pills. So, let's get away from here. We made a lot of ruckus here. Yeah, 3 zombies at a time is risky. That could actually kill you. So I probably emptied most of the mag of that gun, but yeah, a little overkill. Yeah, maybe better safe than sorry. Sheath. You don't need it. We have a hip pack. If we had a belt instead of the hip pack, then we could fix the sheath on the belt, but right like that. The hip pack is perfectly fine, better alternative than carrying the belt. So let's go northward. When we are following our shadow, it's early afternoon. That means we are going north-northeast, following our shadow, or going a little bit more to the left. Yeah, I remember that place. Pretty prominent. And there is a little military site down the hill where we could consider whether to go there. DeerIsle, and it's 2 o'clock. That's something that I don't want to know, but well. Very nice spot here. Down there, yeah, down there behind the woods, along that road, there is a military site. We have to consider whether we want to go down there and check it out. Hiking pants. cancellation, so I think I like to stick to the jeans, although they have a bit less carrying capacity. Ah yes, I remember that place. How many rounds do we have left? Just one. And nothing to reload, right? So my favorite gun now should be this one. Although I think you have to reload after each shot, it's not automatic. So this place up here is probably pretty prominent, but also, yeah, we might find some good loot. A handheld receiver, transceiver, let's pick that up. Don't know if it has battery. No, it hasn't. Another Sporto mag. And there is the long sword. Well. Oh, hey, sorry, I was a bit distracted. Weight loss. Nice to have you in. How long are you in the chat already? Oh, you had a good time? We haven't seen since more than a week. So I hope you had a good week. Glad to have you back in the stream. Yeah, it was 1 week of holiday and I'm back since on Saturday. We drove back on Saturday from France, from the French Alps. It was a drive of something like 9 hours. We left at 8 o'clock in the morning, and so it was a civil time when we arrived back home here. Something about, yeah, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So I already did Saturday night and Sunday night U-boat streams. And now I can afford to do a little bit of daytime streaming. Yeah, I remember many, it might be already something like 2 years ago, that when I was just passing by this one here, there was some guy hiding in there starting to open fire on me. But yeah, I actually got away, and looks like he didn't have too much ammo. So that's very nice. That's quite some important finding. Bottle. So never drink the water that you find in these, because it's usually tainted, but we can empty the bottle and refill it at the well, and that's just great. Yeah, Yeah, it was weak. Fill the bottle. Yeah, that would be nice if you could do a smelling test on the bottles. Yep. That would be pretty realistic. Get the bottle like that. Now we can keep in mind that this water is good. Let's drink a bit more until our stomach is full. No, well, I mean, like now I filled the bottle right from the well, then I don't have to boil it, but I find a bottle of water which I don't know the content of, then it's pretty high probability that you would need to boil it before drinking to be on the safe side. Wow, this makes me so nervous drinking. I always think that somebody might step just out of the bush behind me and stab me in the back. There is nothing. Just don't have any carrying capacity left. Sooner or later I have to drop something. Usually this is good loot in these kind of kiosks, spätis. Oh, nice. So I'm gonna have to drop that one. And do a bit of inventory Tetris. Once more. Wow. What to drop now? Don't need 2 of these starter kits. I really hate this place. It feels so, yeah, prone. Now I'm really running out of inventory slots. Come on. Let's drop 1 bandage. Do I dare to drop a bandage? No. But do I really need all these mags? I don't need this mag. What is it? Very exotic type of rounds. Come on, still. I really don't want to leave food behind. What the fuck?
Can anybody hear me?
What the fuck?
Please.
What the fuck? I don't even have a radio. There is no batteries in the radio. Oh, come on, that was scary. Oh, nice. Hey, come on, guys, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah, there are missions actually. There are missions on the new map. And yeah, this might be some of these missions, but I don't know. Pretty weird and not realistic because I don't have a radio. Must be a radio lying around somewhere there, I don't know. Hey. Just keep on going. Okay, zombie. Just an ordinary zombie. Yeah, guy, come. So eat this. 1, 2, 3. He hit me once. Let's hope that he didn't damage much of my gear. My gloves. There is something. We are really having a lot of food by now. I really have to do a little bit of inventory management now. So we get this. And what's this? Some shotgun ammo. No. Yeah, come on, we don't need that mag, that's clear. Let's have the patty. Lunch meat, lunch meat. Yeah, it would be nice if we get some more ammo for that gun. We fired all the rounds into these 3 torpedoes. Yes, into these 3 zombies. Torpedoes, come on. Let's have the strawberry jam. Probably it's not all fitting into our stomach at the moment. But we need the inventory space and better carry it in our stomach than in the inventory. There we are, full. this is slugs, yeah. Was there any more stuff? I don't think so, yeah. No, I'm not gonna take that helmet. Matches. Matches are welcome. And they perfectly fit in this free inventory slot there. Did we check this one already? I think we did. So let's take a look at our shadow. If we follow our shadow, we are going northwest by now, northeast. One, two. So I think I would better like to go north, more or less due north. So here we go. There is some feeding shack, some deer feeding shack. Wow, a whetstone, that's great, a sharpening stone, that's great. So if we have a sharpening stone, we could actually drop the sickle, because then we could always re-sharpen the steak knife. And we get some more inventory free. Could we put the map there? Nope. We don't have a compass, yeah. Compass is helpful, but not so necessary. You could orient with the sun, usually. Of course, in bad weather, when it's completely overcast, it becomes a bit tricky, but in principle, possible to do without a compass. Although it's quite nice or comfortable to have one. Yeah, by the way, we do have that cool crossbow, which is good for silent headshots. So now we are closing in on this bottleneck there. Bokiawi. I'm pretty sure that I do mispronounce your name. Sorry for that. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I have to do some work after this stream just as well. And that's why I actually have to stop now that you mention work. So guys, it was a pleasure to have you in. Wasabi, nice to have you. Yep, yep. You were in as well in the beginning. Don't know if you're still there. Oblivion. It was a pleasure to have you. Wasabi. And last but not least, weight loss. Great to have heard of you again. So I'm gonna stop it right now. I still have to do a little bit of work, and so yeah. Oh, will you? Yeah, that's too bad, but yeah, sometimes there are things more important than games and streams. So, yeah, it was a pleasure to have all of you guys, and looking forward to see you again. Bye bye.